Foster, tem uma pergunta para você.
Pode perguntar.
Se você tivesse tido uma plataforma de português como a do Cambly, a sua vida teria sido mais fácil?
Muito mais fácil. Eu ainda tenho sonhos sobre isso. Uma plataforma... Não, como que é?
Uma plataforma.
Viu? Gente, eu estou precisando de uma plataforma com fluentes de português a qualquer hora, 24 horas do dia, da minha casa, com flexibilidade. Isso não existe. Mas em inglês...
Não existe.
Existe.
Existe, por isso que a gente está aqui todos os dias no ouvidinho de vocês, falando para vocês fazerem uma aula teste e completamente se apaixonarem pela plataforma do Cambly, que vale muito a pena. Como o Foster já falou, tem professores 24 horas por dia, de todos os lugares do mundo, e todos eles são nativos da língua inglesa. Então, para você fazer essa aula, né, de graça, vá lá no inglês, vai lá no cambly.com ou no aplicativo do Cambly no seu celular e coloque em minutos grátis o nosso código que é Inglês no Cru Podcast.
Yeah, do it. Seriously, no reason not to do it. Talk to native speakers on Cambly, and let's get on with the show. Hello, hey sweet people. Welcome to another episode of Inglês no Cru Rádio, an English podcast where sometimes we talk about English, sometimes we talk about other things,
But we are always speaking English, so...
We are always, 95% of the time we're speaking in English, and we always have a smile on our faces and a good attitude.
Yes, we try to, at least.
How you doing,
How are
Alexia?
you, Foster? Jinx! I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm not doing too bad. I can't complain. So this week on the show, we are talking about students. That means you listening to the show. You are an English student. You are learning English. So this show is for you. And more specifically this week, we are talking about how to maximize your English classes. So when you are taking classes with a teacher, how you can really get the most out of those classes so that you learn faster, more confidently, and just have more fun in the process.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. So yesterday we talked about the idea of cramming. So if you did not listen to that, you should check it out. And today, Alexia, you suggested an idea that we haven't really talked about, but I'm very interested to hear about. So tell me, what's your idea?
Not idea, but I think it's like lemma, right? Like
Slogan.
a mantra. Yeah. Trust the process. We often hear this like when people are talking about our lives and everything is meant to be and trust the process because everything will be fine. But I like to think about when you are learning something new or when you're practicing that thing as well.
Absolutely. So Alexa and I were talking. We said, okay, we're going to record an entire week about how students can use their classes more effectively. And almost immediately, Alexia said 3 simple words. Trust the process.
Yeah. So my point is, first, you gotta find a teacher for you, right? So someone that you are really connected to and someone that you trust.
Yes.
Because this person will be there for you to help you with one of the most important things in your life, that is English.
Yes. And we are assuming that you already have a good English teacher because we recorded 5 episodes about that last week.
Yeah. And once you have this English teacher, so you're good to go. And maybe you want to improve or learn English, the sooner the better, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like that. You won't be able to really speak this language fluently, either like do anything with this language without trusting the process that your teacher is presenting to you.
Okay, so I have two questions to begin. First question, Alexia. When you say trust the process, are you essentially just saying be patient, or is there a difference?
No, I'm saying be patient and trust your teacher because it depends on the methodology
Mm-hmm.
on each teacher, right? So Foster has a way of teaching things. I have another way of teaching things. And maybe a third teacher will have another way of teaching things. And this doesn't mean that I am wrong or Foster is wrong or the other teacher is wrong. It's just a different way of presenting how you should learn, right?
Right.
And you get anxious because of that, because you want to be better and get better and
Yeah.
start communicating as soon as possible.
Yeah. So you can say as soon as possible or sooner than later.
Yeah.
Okay, so I definitely agree with you. We are on the same page. I think I would just add one thing. It's for me, it's not entirely trusting the process of the teacher because naturally most of your studying is done outside of the classroom.
No, that's my other point. That's my other point because remember that the last episode that was like, okay, so your teacher won't be doing everything for you. You need to do stuff. You need to practice. You need to study. Don't think that your teacher is going to be inside of your head speaking English for you. That's not going to happen. So
Right.
you got to do.
Right. So I think what I would add is if you're going to trust the process, you need some type of process, right?
Mm-hmm.
This does not have to be super complicated. And your process, your routine, your study habits, all of these things are going to look a lot different depending on what your goals are, depending on what your current level of English is. But it could be something very simple. Let's say I'm going to read in English every day for 20 minutes. I imagine each day when you're reading, you're probably not learning that much. Maybe you're learning some new vocabulary or something, but it's not like you read for 20 minutes and then you can speak English a lot better, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you read in English every day for a year, you're definitely going to improve a lot. But in order to do that and have the motivation to do that, you really have to trust in the process.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, if you listen to the very first episode of Inglês no Rádio, you're going to see that my English was completely different from today's English. And that's because I literally speak English every single day of my life. And of course, because of my work and because of my boyfriend. But either way, I could just tell Foster, okay, I'm not doing this. You can speak Portuguese. Why am I speaking English? So it's a thing that I wanna get better as well. And that's why I like to practice whenever I can.
Yeah, it's interesting, because when you think about the process of learning a new language and you have to trust that process, that requires a lot of time and dedication and motivation. So, this is almost directly connected to your specific goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm trying to say is it's almost impossible to have a good process, to know what you need to study, and to trust in that process without knowing why you are doing that process in the first place, right?
Yeah. So why are you studying English? Is it because of your work? Is it because of personal thing? Is because I don't know. First, you need to understand why. Why are you doing this? I get a lot of emails from people like, "Hey, I want to study with you, with English no Cru. So, can you tell me about your courses and like what are they? And then I'm always answering like, yeah, but why do you want to study? What's your main goal here?
Yeah, absolutely. And bringing this back to how you can use this in your English classes, I think it's very important. Most teachers should ask you, that should be one of the first things. Why are you taking classes with me? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to travel? Are you trying to improve your pronunciation? Is this for work? Why are you studying a new language? So that needs to be the starting point, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then,
Because this way you can understand better why you're doing that. Also, the teacher.
exactly, that's what I was going to say. It is super important, fundamental that you know why are you doing this. And I imagine there are a lot of people listening to the show right now that have listened to us for hours and hours. And if they really sit and stop and think, why am I trying to learn English? For some people, it's probably not very clear. And it has to be clear. It's learning language is
Eh,
a long process. So you got to have that reason.
yeah, and it doesn't have to be like, oh, because I want to travel the world, because of my work. Maybe you're learning English just because you want to understand better songs in English, right? Or maybe you want to watch shows on Netflix without the subtitles. This is already a goal for you. It doesn't have to be like a big goal, you know?
Absolutely. The goal is not important. The important thing is that you have a goal and you understand what that is and why it's important for you.
Yeah. So for me, it's important for me because first I have an American boyfriend and I want to communicate with his family and friends without any problem.
Yeah, perfect.
That's my main goal. And I think that nowadays I can do that pretty well, but it's still a learning process.
Absolutely. I don't know why I'm saying absolutely so much. I think just because I'm agreeing with everything you're saying.
Yes.
So, Alexia, I really agree. And I think I can end with a quick story. Last week, when I was talking to my therapist, I was essentially doing what most of my English students do. I was like, hey, like, what can I do now to make my life better? Like, give me one thing that's just going to improve everything. And she just looked at me and she was like, Foster, you know it doesn't work like that. It's a process. Like, we come in and we talk every week, and it takes time. So, these things are weird.
Yes.
It's
These things are weird. And my therapist also told me that as well. Like, Alexia, you take care of yourself, like taking care of others. And sometimes you have to like push a button and say, no, I'm not doing that. I had to take care of myself, of yourself. And I was like, but I can't because it's really hard and I don't know how to do it. And she was like, but you don't have to do it tomorrow, but eventually. So let's work on that with that.
yeah,
I don't know how to
yeah.
say that.
I think the tendency, imagine you want to learn how to play the piano, and you just sit
Mm-hmm.
down with a piano teacher and you say, okay, I want to learn Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. And obviously, that's ridiculous. Like, okay, you don't know how to play piano. First, you need to learn how to sit and then how to put your fingers on the piano. Then you need to learn scales and music theory. That's the process. And it's just, you can't just jump, you can't skip it all. Yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say here at the end, but the idea of trusting the
Okay.
process is very important for language, for all things.
Yes. So go ahead, trust the process, trust us, and have a very, very good day.
Yes, have a beautiful day. Keep up the good fight.
And live well. Bye! Muito obrigada por ter escutado mais um episódio aqui do Inglês de Necrorádio. É muito bom ter você juntinho assim de nós. Faz muito, muito carinho no nosso coração, digamos assim. Então você que está interessado em saber mais sobre os nossos produtos e saber mais sobre a gente, o que a gente oferece para vocês em relação a estudo, a challenge, a curso, vá lá no inglêsdenecro.com e você pode ver mais sobre as worksheets, por exemplo.
Yeah. If you want to really improve your English, if you want to learn more about the ways you can do that and just connect with us on a deeper level, go to inglesnocru.com. And as always, keep up the good fight.
And lose well.
See you guys tomorrow.
Bye.